De Lima says Ragos' move is 5 years too late but still appreciated. While calls for her release are becoming louder, Malacanang insists De Lima's case has nothing to do with politics. Let's bring in now Phil Robertson of the Human Rights Watch Asia, joining us now from Bangkok. Thank you so much for joining us, Phil. Let's take a look at Senator De Lima's case. There have been 2 retractions already, but President Duterte's spokesman said the remarks of Ms. De Lima's counsel are pure hogwash. Your thoughts on that, Phil?
Well, it's really unbelievable because the whole case is coming apart against Senator De Lima right now. And we've got recantations of Espinoza and more damningly by Rafael Ragos. He's no small fry given his past senior positions, including the OIC of Bureau of Corrections and the NBI Deputy Director. So the fact that such a senior official is saying these things and, of course, courting legal trouble for himself by making false statements to courts is no small thing. And for the Duterte administration to say this is just hogwash, I think is just, it's beyond the pale. I mean, they should be investigating rather than just trying to put this aside.
And with these retractions, Phil, should Senator De Lima be released or file for bail?
Well, she should be released on bail immediately. You know, there's an international human rights presumption on the right to bail, and certainly she has that right. She should not have been held in pretrial detention for 5 years in any case because she was not a flight risk. You know, it's time for her to be released and for a full investigation to take place into these false statements and the people who are alleged to have been behind coercing these witnesses.
And President Duterte, Phil, last week admitted that he was wrong to think that he can end the drug problem in 3 to 6 months. Let's listen to him.
It was campaign time. Payabangan naman yung kampanya. Pagdating ko sa Maynila, dala ko yung chief of police ko, yung si Bato, yung binuksan na yung records. Paano ako 6 generals of the PNP were playing with drugs. Sabi ko, paano tayo mabubuhay nito? Ang pulis, imbes magtrabaho, nabibigyan rin. So it corrupts it destroys the fabric of society. Over time.
All right, you heard that statement from President Duterte. And you also heard the recanting of 2 testimonies. What does he say about the Duterte administration's 6-year drug war, Phil?
Well, what it says is what we knew from the very beginning, that they were fabricating a crisis in order to gain political power. And they were willing to do this on the back of the urban poor who were being accused of selling drugs and being shot down by police and others working with them. You know, the fact that the International Criminal Court is now investigating the Philippines for crimes against humanity connected to the drug war, and the fact that there's probably been as many as 30,000 people who have been killed in the course of this drug war indicates the scale of the atrocities that have been committed by the Duterte administration. You know, and they were trying to shut up the person who was most likely to investigate them. You know, Senator De Lima was well known to Duterte from when she was a chair of the Commission on Human Rights. She had investigated the Davao death squads, just like we did, Human Rights Watch did. And when her investigation traveled to the Senate, it threatened him politically. And so that's why he went after her with the full force of the government powers. And while it appears that there has been a secondly coerced testimony against her in order to put her in pretrial detention without end.
So what do you think should the next administration do, particularly on this case of Senator De Lima and the drug war of President Duterte, which basically took on many, many lives?
Well, I think she should be immediately released on bail. Ideally, she should be released tomorrow, you know, and allow her to campaign for the last several days of the campaign. She's running for Senate. You know, there should be a full investigation of the allegations against the people who basically made up lies at the behest of others. I mean, obviously they have to face justice as well.
So
And
what
I
about
think
the
that, you know,
Justice
ultimately these
Department,
cases are going
Phil?
to come apart.
Phil, what about the Justice Department? Because President Duterte just has less than 2 months in office. The next Justice Secretary, should he continue this probe of policemen involved in bloody drug operations, and how expansive should the probe be?
Well, he indicates that the police were involved not only in the killings but also the cover-ups. I mean, even we going on the ground were able to find that. So I mean, we were able to uncover, you know, the fact that police were placing pistols, Hollywood movie style, you know, next to dead people who they claimed were drug dealers in order to try to make it look like they shot back. You know, and in fact, and many times it was the same gun that was used repeatedly in different crime scenes. You know, it is absurd to say that there is not serious rights abuses that need to be investigated. And the fact that the Justice Department has promised to the UN Commission on Human Rights to investigate this means that there's an obligation to continue. And if they don't do that, then we should reconsider whether there should be an international commission of inquiry by the Commission on Human Rights of the UN that would also go in tandem with the ongoing International Criminal Court investigation, you know, which may see people like President Duterte and other top people in his administration facing international justice.
Phil Robertson of the Human Rights Watch Asia, joining us from Bangkok. Thank you so much for your insights.